Hey guys, this is Aishana's Voice Box and this is Darynel Weekly. So, I know you're going to be tired of hearing this, but I'm so sorry for the lack in consistency. And I'm planning to do better. Like, I'm manifesting better right now. Manifest. This week on Darynel Weekly Talks, we'll be talking about why I'm antinatal and me telling my mom that I'm antinatal. And remember to like, subscribe, comment below what your thoughts are, and yeah. So truth is, all of us, we grew up considering marriage, considering children, considering a straight sex partner, and that's because of society or because of the socialization that we received, whether it be from the church, from our families, schools, etc. So, just like most of you, I didn't want to when I grew up. I wanted to have a wife. I wanted to be an evangelist in the church and sing on the choir and yeah, exhort God and stuff. But you know, life happened. Now I'm an agnostic 23-year-old who just told his mom that he is antinatal in not so little words, because she admitted to antinatal, she wouldn't understand what antinatal mean. But I told her that possibly she will not be getting any grandchildren that are, you know, directly from her, meaning with her blood. And this was kind of the conversation right here. As you can see, she fully not upon that. She wants blood grandchildren, and it's something that I'm not willing to compromise on, because I know the trajectory that my life path is on, that the trajectory that I want my life on. And I honestly do not see myself bringing children of my own into this world. And here are my points. Before I continue, I just like to break down a bit what antinatal means for those persons who, you know, possibly don't understand like what it means. Antinatal doesn't necessarily mean
fuck them kids, bro,
that you do not like kids or you do not want kids, because I very much so, as I said, want children. The hiccup, however, comes when you have to choose your selfishness versus the sacrifice that it is bringing a child into the world. The sacrifice for the child and the sacrifice for, I guess, ultimately the human race. So for me, well, not necessarily for me, but for most persons who are antinatal, I think that they don't necessarily do not want kids or fuck them kids. I think it's a case where they just don't want to hurt another human being, you know, and that is something that I feel very passionately about. I do not want to bring another human being into the world and to mash up them meds, because the world mash up your meds more wild, and I don't want to be responsible for that. And that's fair. One of my number one reasons for not wanting kids or not wanting to, go through the whole process of sex, kids, sex, pregnancy, kids, or surrogate, in my case, pregnancy, kids, is because I honestly do not want to pass on trauma. I don't want my children to face any secondhand trauma, although I know the point is going to be that when you adopt kids, you can still pass on your trauma, but it's a case where I feel as if when it's a whole lot different, because you're not bringing a whole different life into the world to follow them up. You understand? And I know that within my heart of hearts, I'll try my best not to make an adopted child an orphan, or someone who is adopted based off homelessness or being kicked out by their parents. I don't want you to think that it's because I feel like they're less off. Why I decided not to bring a whole different child into the world. I just believe that it's kids are already here suffering, so why not make their lives better? I think most parents suffer. Well, most Caribbean parents, I think, this is my perspective, suffer from some amount of trauma from their parents, and in an effort to fix the trauma that they experienced, they try to do better by doing the opposite for the child, or being what the thing is, they're trying to be what their parents weren't for them, to their present child, not understanding that we're two different, completely different people. So as much as you possibly wanted to have like a relationship filled with quality time and all them someday with your child, it's a case where possibly your child does not want that significant amount of quality time. Trauma isn't something that fixes itself by you helping you doing the opposite for your child. I mean, some cases, possibly a child wants the same things that you wanted, but at the end of the day, it's important to listen to what the child actually wants, hear the child out, and I don't feel like most parents do that. And there's also this thing called the fixing of the generational curse, which I feel like I touched on earlier. Parents just feel like there is a constant need to fix something because it happened to them and it happened to their parents before, without understanding that possibly this is not what the child wants. Do not force your dreams on your kids. Like, Fences spoke a lot about this. This is one of the main things in Fences. One of the main things that played out was the fact that Denzel, because he wanted to live his son to live how he was living, pretty safe and not taking risks, etc. And I find that that's something that most, if not all, Caribbean parents, and if I may say, a lot of black parents do, in order to safeguard their kid, and it's not always a good thing. Number 2 is children are hella expensive. Like, do you know how much it is to get a surrogate? Like, look it up. Look it up. The procedure is, ooh, it's Christ. Right now, I feel like children are more expensive than real estate or getting your own car. Obviously, getting your own car, like, in totality, think about it. I would have to, if I have a partner, or if I don't have a partner, I'd still have to sort out a surrogate. I don't think surrogates are cheap. Even if they're from your family, like, I wouldn't, like, me not take out nobody girl pitney and tell them say them must go through labor for me, and them then not go pay them the amount, the necessary amount. You must be mad. That's unfair if you think that you're just going to ask your sister to be your surrogate and, like, get a little 10 grand. All that duress, stress in our left breast, like, no, bro. I added to the fact that they're this expensive right now, and it does not end there. They'll continue to be expensive right throughout their lives, even if it's a case where you think that you won't have to take care of them when they're adults or anything, because kids will always depend on you and you'll always love your kids, so you'll forever want to give them what's the best for them. And I don't feel like I'd be that much of a deadbeat to, like, tell my kids, like, no to things or them someday, because I feel like, in my opinion, they must get the best in the world. Like, anything they want, them get it. Anything. No business, anything you want, get it. I don't feel as if by myself I'd be able to do that. It's sad that I have to think about that, because children are a blessing, but, like, they're so expensive, bro. Little tykes. You see the cute cheeks them now, and, like, later down the road them a tell us that them need allowance and care and something and a university, and next thing a 3 pitney I got a university and then something, like, no, bro. That's why family planning is important. My third point will be the fact that adopting is much more wholesome and sensible as opposed to bringing a whole different child into the world, from my perspective. I honestly feel like your point, like, the people's general point of wanting to have kids is because they want someone to continue their bloodline or lineage or whatever, and I'm like, bro, you'll not be alive to see see that or whatever. And as much as for health reasons it's good to have a child that is the same blood type as you, because what if them lose a kidney or something or what, and you know you can insert or something for them someday. But I believe that apart from that, the premise of wanting the reasons that you give for wanting to bring your own child into the world is kind of selfish. And don't attack me, please. The thing is, adoption, the child is already in the world. They're already being they've been brought into the world, and most times it's a case where they're brought into the world into unfortunate situations, like they're instantly an orphan, or them family just don't want to have nothing to do with them, or particular to like states like Jamaica where there are anti-abortion laws. People just have kids because there's no other alternative. You can't do an abortion because there are no resources for that. There are no facilities for that, and that's why people always end up in a garbage pan or in some ditch or some pit toilet or something. And I feel like children don't deserve that because children didn't ask to be here. Like, we often say we didn't ask to be here, and it's the truth. We didn't ask to be here. So why do we expect that the children that are brought here, they should be treated less or should be packed up in these homes without families or without love or tender care or whatever? Children deserve the world, and children deserve love, and I just feel like if I'm to adopt a child, I'd make worlds more of a difference in worlds more of a contribution to the human race if I adopt a child versus carrying another child into the world. I'm not saying that this will never happen, because beliefs change, and if someone convinces me enough, if my partner convinces me enough, possibly, yeah, sure, I might get into the vibe of getting a surrogate mother to bring forth his child or my child into the world. But I for now, it's just a case where I don't see myself doing it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week, according to the program schedule that I gave to you guys.